Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the Medical Talk. Today we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Sharjeel Ahmad. Dr. Sharjeel is currently working at the Infectious Disease Department at the University of Illinois and is also the director of the Positive Health Solution, which is a program that helps people living with HIV and AIDS and helps provide healthcare for them. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Sharjeel. It is an honor having you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So I would like to start the conversation by getting to know a little bit about your early life, to understand a bit where were you born and raised, what did your early education look like?
So I consider myself a Karachiite. Been here in Karachi since I was 3 years of age. So se pehle my family is Sippi/Lahore, and then we moved here to Karachi since my dad worked at Jinnah Hospital in Karachi. So yeah, we are a third generation of doctors. Dada, Nana, Khalas, Puppos, Mahmoos, they're all doctors. Nobody forced me to do it. But for natural inclination, sciences ki taraf, you always have that inclination. And then I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, frankly. And even I think in my A levels, I did biology, chemistry, and maths, not physics. And I applied to LUMS and ICU and somehow got into both. Then I went to LUMS because the semester was starting first. Tried my hand for 3 weeks. I was doing fine academically, wasn't enjoying it, and then joined AQ and never regretted it. So that's the summary on that. But yeah, my inclination was always towards sciences, but I think it took a bit of a trial and error by spending 3 weeks at LUMS to find out, yep, I want to do medicine.
Yeah, I think that it's good that you tried LUMS so that you knew that you wanted to do medicine for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I had the opportunity because yeah, sometimes you can't. And I mean, that's the thing. I think in Pakistan, when we join med school, we're kids. We're just 17, 18 years old. In the US, you'll see they'll do undergrad 4 years and they do a 4-year med school. And so I think people are a bit more mature. Obviously, then the downside is these guys have a huge medical school and undergrad loans, student loans to pay off as well. Like a lot of these people, when they do it, they really want to do it. I think a lot of kids in Pakistan are pressured by family or whatever circumstances. So that's very different. A lot of students I've seen are like 30, 40 years old. I think I had one resident, I remember in training, she was 50 years old. Wow. She joined, she was apparently a world-renowned speech pathologist or something, and decided that once her kids are out of the house and stuff, she wanted to do something different with her life. So we had tons of engineers and stuff and other people for who medicine is a second career. And these guys were older and they were ready to face all those challenges. So they definitely were more mature and knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think there should be a year after you get done with your A levels, or at least 6 months or 1 year, where you decide and see what you really want to do. Because during your A levels, you're just so busy with your studies and academics that you don't really get the time to understand your passions and what you really want to do.
Yeah, I wish we could have that. I know it's a lot of cultural and stuff. I'm sure if you I think most of us, if you tell our parents, hey, we want to just take a year off after A levels, get betas. सही तो दिमाग तो सही है तुम्हारा. So so that I think it's a lot of it is cultural as well. But over here, you will see people saying, oh, I'm taking a year off and exploring the world, exploring what I want, and then when they join, they are ready to get into what they want to do.
Yeah. So. When you get into medical school, obviously during the first few years and after you graduate, there is a lot of pressure, peer pressure as well, and pressure from your family to choose a career pathway after you graduate, a postgraduate pathway. It's either the US, the UK, staying back in Pakistan, or other options. So why did you choose to go to the US?
Yeah, I think, I mean, if I think with Arkan, I think the natural inclination, a lot of graduates go there anyway. So I don't know, it's Pedki Chal, you can say, or whatever. I think naturally everybody looks at that. I mean, people go to UK. I think with the US, the one thing is, again, I think the healthcare system, the way it's set up in UK and stuff, it's sometimes, you can do all your requisite training and stuff. It can take you sometimes a longer time to be an attending physician or consultant because of the way the NHS is set up. For the USCS, it's very structured. You do 3 years of internal medicine or whatever, 5 years of general surgery or 7 years of neuro, and then you're done. You're an attending physician. Like you don't wait for a spot to become available, but you transition to the next level. So I think that's the attraction to that. Plus, obviously as kids and stuff, everyone wants to go to the US and stuff like that. So I think, but overall, yeah, I think the US, I think there's, for me, once you turn to your colleagues and stuff, I think the program was a bit more structured and had a finite duration where you will be, you will remain a trainee or be under somebody. It was you knew exactly in 3 years you're going to be done, or 5 years or whatever you're going to do. Then you have X number of years to become a subspecialist in whatever you feel. So I think that's what probably attracted me more. That I knew I'm going to be done in X amount of time, and that's it.
Yeah. That's a good side to the US system. So
Yeah.
how did you choose your specialty? Because a lot of people, like my friends and my colleagues, they are very confused about what specialty they want to go into.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first, I knew in medical school, okay, I don't want to be a surgeon. My dad's a neurosurgeon, and I didn't like that lifestyle. So I knew that, yes, it's more glamorous and stuff, but I think I had the aptitude for that anyway. So I knew कि internal medicine ही करेंगे, and then we can think about what I want to do. And when I joined my residency, I was like, yeah, I like the hemonc, like the micro, the basic pathology and stuff behind the oncology and hematology part as well. And I think a lot of it is the mentors you come across in med school as well. So we had some fantastic teachers there, and then the micro, I actually enjoyed that too. But I didn't think about ID because I think in Pakistan at that time, ID was not an established. I think the fellowship in ID, FCPS has just started, what, a decade or maybe a bit more than ago. So it wasn't on my radar. And I thought I was going to do hemonc and stuff. So, but I chose some electives here and there. I did hemonc elective. And then I thought I was going to do endocrine in the middle, like maybe halfway through, I did electives in that. And then I think the endocrine was fine, but I think the way I ended up with ID was, again, it's got to be the mentor. So when I did my ID elective here during residency, I enjoyed it so much. I had the last 2 weeks off of my rotation. I actually canceled it and did the whole month. And my mentors actually looks like they enjoyed working with me. So by the end of my month of ID elective, the section chief, who's also the program, she's like, if you are interested in doing ID, you can more or less consider you'll have a spot at that place. So, I mean, there wasn't a pre-match. I mean, there's no pre-match in fellowship, but at least it was kind of like I was reassured that if I apply for fellowship over there, I could apply at the places as well. And I think it was also kind of comfortable and easier just doing it at the same place we did residency. These people knew, I knew these guys. I was inspired by these mentors. I think they were not just good ID docs, they were good internists and just good people overall. So that's how I ended up landing in ID. I mean, I thought some of the mentors I had were the smartest docs in the whole hospital. So it's like if I can be just like 5-10% of what they are, I'll feel mission accomplished, basically.
That's great. Talking about mentors, a lot of medical students in Pakistan, they want to get mentored and work with doctors from the US or from the UK, wherever they want to pursue their career after their medical school. So what do you think is the best way to approach doctors who you want to work with in the future?
Yeah, so the problem I think is having it with the US. I know is a lot of medical programs are restricting observers and stuff. So if you're not if you're not a US grad, they're not allowing observership and training. I'm having the same problem here because the UFI system is not allowing any foreign grads for observership. We used to have some way back, but they've stopped doing that. So that creates a huge burden. I think the first thing I still get tons of emails and I feel so bad about writing back and saying, I'm sorry, I can't because the rule of the thing. But it's good. I think there's always no harm in asking first, trying to identify. I'm sure, I hope, I know among circles people have, I remember in residency, people had those lists of residency programs which are IMG friendly. I'm wondering if somebody can just start that kind of thing about places which will accept foreign graduates as for mentorship or observerships and stuff like that, if we can develop something like that. But I think, again, I think the good thing is also nowadays we have LinkedIn, we have all these other outlets. So there's always no harm in asking, reaching out, and you get lucky on that. Other thing is also sometimes ask the doctors you work with, for example, who are UK or US trained, who are working with you in Pakistan at your institution and stuff. They may know of people who will be able to. And again, I think over the time you realize contacts and networking is as important in medicine as in any other field, be it business or anything else. So I think it's more about, yeah, you find somebody probably you are comfortable with that, whether you're at medical school, some teacher who inspires you and stuff. Ask them, maybe they can take you under their wing, or they know somebody who's in the US or UK, take you under the wing, and then you never know. It always, I think with these, sometimes luck plays a role as well. But yeah, you never, if you don't ask, you won't know. I can tell you an example of this person we had here who is who found somebody from Pakistan. He's like, hey, do you have a spot? And it's like, hey, I can't mentor you, but I know somebody else who's not from Pakistan, but because of his job description, technically he was not an employee of the university. And it's like, he will take him in, and he kept him under his wing. He was working here for 2 years doing all kind of research. And for his residency, this guy went out the way. He wrote to like 50 different program directors, called them personally, trying to get this guy's interview positions and stuff. And he ultimately ended up in the same fellowship as his, like, the mentor was a GI specialist. He ended up at the GI fellowship program, but it wasn't like it was like, makhan lagaya or whatever. He got it because of his sheer hard work. His CV showed the story as well. And yes, he did have that support that somebody was able to back his credentials saying, I know this guy personally. I think over time, as you probably, these personal, somebody who can vouch for you personally becomes very, very important. So you need somebody who will be able to spend 10 minutes of your time to make those calls for you and stuff like that. If you can find a mentor in Pakistan who can say, hey, yeah, I trained this program, but yeah, my friend so and so is working, maybe I can make a call for you or an email for you. That's great. And I think that's what it is. Don't be hesitant in asking people who you feel comfortable with and stuff, asking them for help. Maybe they may be able to help you while in Pakistan, or they may be able to find somebody else who's a friend of a friend of a friend, like that. So I would say is, yeah, I think that's the way. I would say, just think of it as, जैसे पाकिस्तान में होता है, रिश्ता आंटीज का, उससे पूछा. So yeah, if you don't ask, you will never know. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask people who you may inspire you and stuff, and see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. Don't give up.
It's all about looking for opportunities, I guess, and connecting with people and trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the step one exam is pass and fail now. The score has been eliminated. So what do you think that IMGs, especially from Pakistan, can do differently to stand out among all of the applicants, the US graduates and the IMGs, other IMGs as well?
Yeah, that's just a major setback, and I think a lot of IMGs here feel very strongly about, because that was one thing which would distinguish us from the rest. Because these guys, when the program look, that's the only thing you really judge us on, if anything else. And then that's what we've talked about, that graduate from, I don't know, a Harvard Med, who may be at the bottom of the class just because he's there, may be given preference over somebody who's an excellent candidate from Dow or Lamikpal or AQ or wherever. I think one thing, I guess, probably step two is probably going to take more importance now. So that's something we need to focus on. And second, probably, again, letters of reference from people who are in the US. So it could be a US trained physician you're working in Pakistan, but ideally, if you can be able to do electives in the US and get letters from them and shine over there. Again, it's all about references, personal contacts and stuff. Somebody can write a letter for you, or when the time comes, is agreeable to make calls on your behalf. I think that's what it's going to be. So I think, in summary, I think step two, when having US letters, ideally for electives, or from a US trained physician, is probably going to be more important.
So you mentioned electives. So what is the best way to get an elective? How should medical students approach this?
Yeah, contacts is probably, I think, the big one. I think I'll tell you, like, with me, I think with AQ, so it's kind of good because we had a good network, and so you kind of knew which programs to apply to and stuff. And the seniors who went there for lectures before, they would kind of help guide us and stuff. Okay, yeah, we went there, and this is what you need to do. You apply. This department will take it, students and stuff. And I feel again like now somebody can sit with an Excel spreadsheet and kind of I think it needs to be a pay forward mechanism. If you've gone through lectures yourself, I think you owe it to others and stuff as well to kind of have that information, maybe have some kind of repository and stuff, and then everybody adds to it over time. But yeah, ask your friends, ask your peers, ask your seniors, again, ask your mentors who you're already working with to try to find spots. Sometimes, as I said, yeah, they may not have an open elective and stuff, but if somebody is helpful or somebody can figure out a way, they'll find you to accommodate in there. And yeah, ideally, as soon as ideally you should probably try looking for it as soon as possible. I think the big thing also we have to worry with us is visas.
Yeah.
So you have to give yourself time. So doing it 2 or 3 months probably is yeah. I would say is look for about 3 to 6 months. 6 months the earlier the better it is, because that gives you time to accommodate for any kind of unexpected emergencies, anything like that, and start looking out well in advance. The sooner you start doing it, I think the better it is and less stressful it'll be, because I think the biggest thing for us also, I feel, for electives is, again, the whole visa thing. It can be so unpredictable. I did not do any electives in the US because I remember when I applied for my elective, I had a sub internship at Henry Ford Hospital, and I got it, and it was a month before I went for my visa interview. I was supposed to go. There was a bomb blast outside the U.S. consulate, the old U.S. consulate in Karachi next to Marriott. So they closed it. So I ended up doing all my electives in Pakistan, and I had a good clinical experience. But yeah, those letters can make a big difference. Yeah. So yeah, please be apply. I would say 6 months. Start looking around 6 months or even earlier before you plan to do your electives, and hopefully then you can accommodate for any emergencies or anything like that.
Yeah. Visa issues are very unfortunate, I guess. A lot of people face these issues, and it's unfortunate that we have to go through this. But talking about electives and all of the things that we can do apart from step one, do you think that research has a big role to play, research publications? Because there's a lot of focus nowadays in medical colleges regarding the number of publications you have or the kind of research you have. So do you think program directors look at all of these factors as well?
Yeah, I think the problem was happening is because of the whole step one stuff. So all these other things are taking more importance because let's face it, I mean, we are IMGs, we are competing against local graduates. So there is going to be you have to prove you're better than them in all different aspects and stuff. So if anything, you can add to your CV, having research, going to medical poster presentations and stuff. It definitely will help support and make your CV look much, much stronger. Again, because you're competing against people from all over the world at that point, not just the US graduates and stuff. There'll be people from China, India, all these countries, Syria. I mean, there's all these different countries you're working. There'll be people who have green cards and already are citizens of their IMGs and stuff. So you have to have something which shows that, which makes a program director think, you know what, I want to take a chance on this person. This person doesn't have a visa, whatever, but you know what? I would rather have this person because I think it would be a good addition to the program. So I'm not saying that you try to take your focus away from your education and stuff completely. But yeah, if you can get some good papers in, I don't know, it's a big number, I don't know, 3, 4, whatever, maybe more, the more the better. I mean, that's the thing. I had one, I'll tell you, the times were different. I had one paper and I think 2 posters and stuff. I had a few colleagues who had 35 publications and 40 before you finished med school. But and the end of the day, you go into residency, you come out the same board certified in medicine if you get into a slot. So in the long term, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it can help you get. The problem now is things are becoming so much more competitive now. It's just harder for IMGs to get. So every little bit you do counts. So yeah, having that research thing is definitely gonna help you. The more you can do it, the better. But yeah, don't lose sight of your education focus because I think step 2 will still be like right up there. And I mean, I'm not a program director right now, but yeah, I've been around in this institution for a while and I know what conversations they have. And that's the first thing. I mean, now with the past may be different, but that's the first thing they'll always, oh yeah, this guy has a lot of research, but his step score is this. So that can go against you. So yeah, research will be an adjunct or a supplement to your CV, but it's not the only thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what qualities apart from research or electives or all of the clinical experience do program directors look for in the applicants?
Yeah, again, they are looking for people who have a personality, who can communicate and stuff. And again, it's not, just bouquet stuff. I'll give you examples. When you write a personal statement, it's very important. Sometimes when people are too eager, you can tell. You can tell easily someone has picked up a thesaurus and picked all these fancy words in there and try to shove it in literally in there. And I'll tell you, they sometimes we will get share of those personal statements, like people are laughing or like scratching their head, like, oh my God, I can't believe the people are writing statements like, oh, we are the creamiest of the creamiest. It's like you meant creme de la creme or something else. But in their eagerness to sound all fancy and stuff, it's it just turns into like it starts overshadowing whatever step score because they're like, this person can't even talk or write complete proper sentences. So when you come for interviews and stuff, the day night before they'll take you out for a dinner and you interact. That's another time, and sometimes the chief resident is there and he or she is talking to them and they try to figure out this person has a personality or not, because it is some people will have had like 99 percentile scores of 260, but they can't communicate with people at all. And that's what can shine through and it can put you up there like, yeah, this guy is brilliant on paper, but he cannot converse at all. It's not about having an American accent or a British accent. No, that's okay. That's not a big deal. But yeah, you need to be able to talk to your peers because yeah, you're going to be working in close quarters with these people, your interns, your residents and stuff. So um, if you can't communicate with them properly, if you cannot be a team player, if they get that vibe about this guy is his own man, one person ship and stuff, it will stand out. And program directors and stuff, they learn over time how to pick those things. I think overall, I'm sure you will, you've seen patients and stuff, you can pick out these little clues. And again, you don't you have to be yourself. There is no doubt when you go, you don't have to be. If you try to be fake CC, it becomes very, very quick. You're just being too eager and stuff like that. But again, you just use your common sense. I can tell you the example of somebody I knew who was very brilliant, had amazing scores on their steps and everything else, had all the research and stuff and honors and stuff. But I know somebody who went to the interview. This is, remember, fresh after 9/11. So went to the interview and so why do you want to come? And I can't believe this person said, I'm come here to convert the infidels. And I mean, it was just, and needless to say, this guy didn't get into a single residency program. So it's just like you cannot say such things. And actually, you shouldn't have these kind of thoughts when you're coming over here. You're going to be in a big multicultural, multilingual society. You have to learn how to respect and tolerate and stuff. अगर यही करना है तो फिर Pakistan में बैठे रहो, basically. But yeah, it's like you be genuine and stuff. Don't be eager and stuff. But yeah, make sure when you write your personal statements and stuff, for example, make sure somebody who's well versed in English has gone through it, reviewed the draft with you, for example. When you're going there, again, ask the questions and stuff, but again, you don't want to come off as too eager. I know it's hard to say. You don't want to come off as too eager, but you also don't want to come off as, oh, completely blah, oh, this guy's not interested in our program and stuff. But yeah, it's trying to interact with the peers and stuff, have a conversation, tell them something interesting about yourself. People like hearing the stories about your life, about your childhood, some favorite memory. Share those kind of stories, and I think it should work out fine.
Yeah. That's great. So you have done a master's in public health as well. How have you seen your healthcare practice and your approach towards medicine change after that?
Yeah, MPH is not for everyone. It helps and stuff. It can help in a few ways. if you're really into the, so, I mean, MPH can come, depending on where you do it, can come in different tracks. Some places will offer like a major in statistics, major in public health administration and stuff. Now, if you want to sometime go into hospital administration or stuff later, you don't have to have an MPH, but it kind of gives you that credibility and validity. This guy is actually studied and he knows what they're doing. MPH can help you have even like a plan B, like, it gets hard to get in. And sometimes you're like, you tried a few times getting residency and stuff, but having that degree will help you open alternative. You can go into public health, you can go CDC, epidemiological, like health officers, EIS service and stuff, or you handle pandemics. You can go into university teaching and stuff like that. It can buy you some time while you're looking at your options as well. I know. So I think our current dean of Aga, Dr. Adil Haider, who's a world-renowned trauma surgeon, I know he was a few years senior to me, but I think he was doing an MPH at Johns Hopkins before he started trauma surgery and stuff. So it also gave him credence. He's now a big researcher. Also, same thing. Sometimes it buys you time in lieu of an observership or fellowship because you're rubbing shoulders with people who may be highly involved in research in that relevant field. Like you're working with researchers, working with the surgery department, or whatever you want to do, ophthalmology or the highly competitive ones. Again, you may come across them during your routine research, or you may say your thesis wants you want to do a particular field and decide to do your MPH thesis or research focused on whatever field you want to go in there, and that way you get to know the faculty, the program directors, that way. And again, then you get a US letter and it's like, hey, yeah, I know this guy, he's the dean of the School of Public Health, or oh yeah, I did this so and so research project with this guy and he's mentoring this one, so obviously this person must be good. So it does help you on that. It's not absolute, but yeah, it can help you out in certain ways. So in Illinois, for example, I know in the county health departments here, they won't have a director of the county. For the county health department, MPH is a necessary qualification. Yeah. I think not all county departments are necessarily MDs, but they all have MPH somewhere there. So yeah, it does open alternate career choices, but it's not the end game at all. But yeah, as I said, it can sometimes buy you time while you're looking at your options for residency and stuff, and sometimes it helps you rub shoulders with the very people you want to work with during residency as well.
I think it's a good opportunity to learn and connect with more people. So that's great.
Yeah.
So moving on to the education side and undergraduate education in particular. So do you think that there is a need to make changes to the undergraduate curriculum, especially in Pakistan, because the world of medicine is moving so fast, and especially in terms of teaching methods, do you think that it is time to move on from PowerPoint presentations only and focus more on video learning and animations and visual learning, and improve our teaching methods? A lot of people who have come on this podcast have talked about flipped classroom methods and problem-based learning. So do you think we should move on to that, especially in Pakistan?
Yeah. I mean, Pakistan, yeah. I think the biggest problem, I think, in Pakistan is also people, I sometimes feel, the people who've been there forever sometimes are more resistant to change, but change is inevitable. We have to move on and stuff. I think even like problem-based learning, when it came and stuff, it took a while for it to get implemented in Pakistan and stuff. The way our curriculum is geared and stuff. We definitely need to, yeah. And I think especially with the COVID pandemic, I think it's taught us that we have to come up with new and innovative methods because you never know what's coming next and stuff. So we have to evolve with time and come up with these. I think a lot of stuff also comes from this whole hierarchical school of thought and stuff. It's just the culture over there here as well, because it's kind of hard to implement. I think sometimes it's like, "Tum kaun ho bhai, kal ke bacche hame bata rahe ho," but here I'll tell you, it's so different because when I came for residency, my parents like, hey, call me Nate. It's like, it's again, we cannot do that. I still call him Dr. So and so. Or as soon as you graduate, you can call your attendings by your first name, which is absolutely unheard of or unthinkable in Pakistan and stuff. And yeah, it feels weird, but people do. I still can't do it. I'll tell you, I still can't do it. But I'm just saying, I think a lot of it's a good thing. I think we like to respect the elders, but it also means sometimes there is stagnation. and evolution in Pakistan and stuff. So definitely, I think we need to look at, again, this is the 21st century. We need to look at using video links and this, so everything else, or whatever resources other institutions all over the world are using at the disposal. We have to use simulation and stuff. I think has become big in medicine and stuff. I think we need to jump on that big time because I think it's everywhere now. So definitely, yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement. I'm not saying, again, I've gone through the old system and stuff. I'm before PBL and all those things and stuff. Of course, I was always like, our system was the best and stuff, but obviously you learn over time. In the long term, usually when you go in medicine, you get the creme de la creme, the smart people. Whatever system you feel, if you give them the right tools, they will survive and they'll do well overall. But yeah, we need to get up to speed and we need to keep up with the world for sure.
Yeah, of course. So my last question is that how do you see the medical education and medical practice 50 years from now? Do you see because there's a lot of talk about artificial intelligence and new technology. So how do you see that? What are your thoughts on that?
50 years. Wow, that's I don't even 10 years, it's gonna be hard to predict. But yeah, AI is gonna be big. I definitely think that's gonna be the big, a lot of these algorithms and yeah, stuff. There's a lot of decision, which I mean, radiology and stuff, I think they're already looking over there. I still want to believe there'll be still a value to an actual human sitting behind the screen and dictating. Because end of the day, even now with telemedicine and stuff like that, with all the stuff we do, we still need that human touch.
Yeah.
Patients like that human touch better. They want to be examined, felt, touched by an actual physician who's actually talking, and not a mechanical voice and artificial sound and stuff. So I would like to believe they will still have a role over there. It's I think it's going to be different in different parts of the world. I mean, the US is a lot of it is driven by money and the business and stuff. So whatever the most cost cutting and telemedicine is going on because it helps cut down costs. But in Pakistan and stuff, again, resource poor, like more resource poor settings and stuff, I think it can work really well, the telemedicine and AI as well. But I think at the same time, you do need that human touch to make the final connection, putting all the dots together in place. I think it's going to be a lot of maybe supervisory role for us. Yeah, the AI can do all those calculations and algorithms, but it may need to still be verified by an actual human physician and stuff. Yeah, I'm still thinking it's 10 years. 50 years is so far down the road to think. But yeah, I still see that I want to believe we'll still have a job in 10, 20 years from now. But I think these are good tools to have. I think it will make a lot of decision making easier. Already, I mean, when we were students and stuff, we had the periodicals and stuff. Google was coming in and stuff. Now, you can find 100 things on the phone, on your app. You want to look at any information, it's so much easier to look at it on your fingertips. So I think a lot of it is now going to be over time, is again, more and more delegation to, handheld devices. Your memory, your brain is going to be used more for decision making and stuff. All the information is going to be presented, computer access and everything else, which is good. Yeah, you don't have to remember every dose of the medication. You can always look that up now. So yeah, I think it just continue to evolve on that. But I want to believe that we will still be needed as humans 10 years from now. 50 years, God knows.
I personally believe that, the empathy factor when it comes to doctors is really important. And I think the patients won't let go of that. And I think doctors will still be relevant. 50 years.
Yeah, I think that end of the day, you definitely need that human touch, somebody who you can talk to in real, and yeah, that can never be substituted by an artificial voice and stuff like that. So, or I don't know, a robot's hand touching you or something like that. So yeah, I want to believe we'll all be still relevant. We'll just adapt and evolve. Our jobs will adapt and evolve, but we'll still be around.
Thank you so much for joining us and agreeing to do this interview. And I hope that we can have you again on the podcast. And thank you so much for coming.
No problem. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.